Is up, gamers? It's your Average Joe with Average Joe Raids. Today we have a very special video. We are on a early to mid-game account, my friend's account. We're going to take a look at his Unkillable Helicath team that he is building with super budget gear and not even all 60s yet. And then we're going to take a look at my account on an Unkillable Helicath team that I am building to test out for him so that he can try to grow into that team. So just want to say thank you all very much. We are at 249 subscribers as of this video. Remember, if you're new here, if you've been here before, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Less than 10% of you guys are subscribed, and at 249, we're going to basically round that up to 250 and say we are a quarter of the way to having enough subscribers to give away a free Ninja Raid Shadow Legends account. So at 1,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away an account that has Ninja on it, which you can never get anywhere else other than other people who are giving them away. But you can't get it naturally anymore. So that's something special. We're going to do that at 1,000 subscribers. You guys can help us get there. So let's take a look at this team. This is basically built off of the slow Helicath team that Deadwood Jedi has on his site. I will put that link in the description. But my friend doesn't have any block debuff champions, and so basically what we're doing, we're guiding the stun onto Aox, who doesn't really affect the speed tune at all if he does get stunned, and it actually helps because Aox's passive is whenever he gets hit, he can extend debuffs on the enemy champion. And so basically having him be the stun target gives us an additional time to extend debuffs. So it's working out really well for us. He is not leveled up all the way right now, so he does die a little bit early, you'll see. But let's go ahead and play through it, and we can talk about the run as we're watching it. So basically, let me slow this down just a bit. Basically, we've got Kale here. He's the starter champion, first 60. He's an okay clan boss champ. You know, he's not ideal. We're going to replace him as soon as we can. We've got Helicath. He's the star of the show. He's giving everyone this unkillable buff for the 2 AoEs. He gives everyone a huge shield for the stun. And, yeah, there's not much else to say there. Frozen Banshee is putting out tons of poisons. She is basically has the mastery on to where when Aox gets stunned, she has a chance to counterattack. So she's getting extra hits in there. She's also getting her poison sensitivity to last a little bit longer with one of her masteries. So she's doing a lot of damage here. Our biggest damage dealer, actually. We've got Ninja, who, unfortunately, for my friend's account, is quite awfully geared. And so he's not landing his decreased defense. He's not landing a lot of his HP burns. So there is a lot of damage left on the table with Ninja. And my friend can squeeze out a lot more damage from him. And you can too once we get to 1,000 subscribers. And like we said, Aox, he's got a chance to poison on his A1. But he's mainly there as a stun target. And also he's going to be increasing the duration of those debuffs whenever he gets hit. So that's the reason he is here. And also to tank that stun, like we said, without affecting speed tune for anyone. So this is going to work really well on Void Affinity. It is not going to work on Spirit Affinity because the decreased speed buff, we're not cleansing that and we're not blocking it. So that is going to take effect. It'll get us out of speed tune. It also, I don't think, is going to work on Magic Affinity because Aox is not going to be able to take the stuns. Now, if Kale takes the stuns, happens to take... Actually, I don't know that Kale is going to be able to take the stuns either. I think Helicath's going to be targeted by the stuns on Magic Affinity, which is also going to put this out of tune. Now, hopefully, on Force Affinity, if Kale can happen to take the stuns, or maybe even Frozen Banshee, although that would really tank our damage. If either of those two could take the stuns, then I think it could work on Force Affinity. So you're kind of looking at mainly Void Affinity on this. You're trying to squeeze out as much damage as you can in your first 2 keys. Maybe you can wake up, in our time zone, we're waking up for work, and you've got your 2 keys on cooldown. You can put the 2 keys quickly into Void Clan Boss right after the reset. And then if that can get you maybe 2/3 of the way on damage, then once you hit turn 50, then maybe then with your other 2 keys, you can supplement that last third of the damage and get to the 70 million that you need to get an Ultra Nightmare top chest. So that's what the hope is for my friend's account. And you can see here with Aox being only level 16, he is starting to take damage on those stuns, which is what's going to end up killing this run. He does end up taking damage on that. So we will keep this running out and see how it ends up. And then I think we die around turn 34-ish. So you can kind of see at turn 34 what the damage is. And then we've got another 16 turns left of damage that we could be doing if Aox stays alive. So let's fast forward a little bit. Aox dies. Kale starts to get targeted. Kale dies. And when we're just slowly dying. So at turn, let's see what turn we get to. At turn 43, they all die, and that is 18.07 million damage. So that's going to get us above 20 million damage when you get to turn 50. 20 million damage is going to be a comfortable 4-key if you're able to keep it unkillable. Now, he's most likely not going to. Most likely, he's going to get 2 keys on Void Affinity. And if he gets lucky, he might get a 3rd key on Void Affinity. And the 4th key is going to run out of speed too, and you're just going to be surviving as long as you can. So, it's going to be close whether this is an Ultra Nightmare team or not. But potentially, squeezing that extra damage out of Ninja could be the difference maker for him. So, I did go ahead, and while I was on his account, I went into the Champions to be able to show you guys the gear. So we'll start out with Helicath. He is here purely to give the Unkillable and shield buffs, and that is because my friend does not have good gear yet. This is getting into the mid-game account, but it was an early game account. He was able to get Helicath. He's progressing into the mid-game. He's into stages around 15-ish on most dungeons, and starting to try to get his Ultra Nightmare team leveled up. So he does have Helicath up to 254 speed, almost 4,500 defense, and then pretty much no other stats. So we're focusing mainly on the speed, just getting him to the speed and defense to be able to get that shield buff out. And then we will go over to the skills, show you that he is booked out except for his A2 is not fully booked. And then his masteries here you can kind of take a look at. He is running the defense tree and the attack tree to get the War Master procs. So that is Helicath. Move on to Frozen Banshee. She has similar masteries in the attack and the defense tree. And we will go over to her skills. She's fully booked. And her artifacts. She is at 2,000 offense, attack 182 speed. She is not critting right now. And that's because we want her accuracy to be 100%, well, 97% technically, 97% chance to land those poison debuffs. So that is how we geared Frozen Banshee. And when I say we, I mean my friend, but I feel like I have some skin in the game on this with as much guidance as I've been giving him and in questions he's been asking me. So we've got Kale here. He's at 2,500 attack, 175 speed. He is critting. And 113 crit damage, and then very low accuracy, 147. So his poisons are not reliable for this team. This is mainly for an arena and a nuker build. So he's running the accuracy tree and the offense tree. You can see here, War Master procs is a big deal for him. He is fully booked. Ninja's masteries, also the accuracy tree and the attack tree. He's also running a Master Hexer, try to get those debuffs to last longer, which would be helpful if he could land the debuffs. So he's got some books into him, but not fully booked. So you can see his A1 here. His A2 is not booked at all, unfortunately. His A3 did land quite a bit of books, so that's helpful for like wave clearing, but not necessarily for clan boss. And then his stats here: 3200 attack, 172 speed. He is 100% crit rate, but only 77% crit damage. So you can see here there's a lot of damage left on the table with Ninja's build here. 157 accuracy. He is not landing his debuffs either. So we get Ninja geared up, he gets Ninja geared up, and he should be able to get that Ultra Nightmare chest, which I am pumped about for him. I know he's also pumped as well. So going down to Aox, Aox is only level 16, so you know, these stats are going to change a lot as he gets leveled up. But right now he's at 13,500 health, 967 attack, 957 defense, 170 speed, 15% crit rate, 185 accuracy. So we tried to get him as high as we could for the accuracy. When he gets the higher health and he gets the higher defense, hopefully he lives all the way to turn 50 at least, and then that should help us out. Getting all the way to turn 50, get some extra damage on the table. So that is Aox. He has no books into him, and he also has no masteries. And let's go back and read that passive. Increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn when attacked. Occurs once per hit. So on Void Affinity, the AoE hits are going to hit 1 time. And so that gives him a chance to increase 2 random debuffs. And then also he's taking the stun, so that's another chance, or that's another turn where he's getting hit and he's increasing 2 random debuffs. Now hopefully that's increasing Frozen Banshee's poisons, which is going to make her do more damage. So that is the hope with this build, and that's why I think this synergizes pretty well. So we've taken a look at his account. Now let's switch over to my account. We're going to take a look at a similar but a little bit different team. So we've got this team based on MTG Jedi's video that I watched. I think he called it the Ninja Cat with Ninja and Hellcat. So this is going to be similar to his, but again, I'm not running Cleanser or a debuff champion. I want to try to have Aox take the stuns. So I am going to attempt this for the very first time, just for you guys. We're going to take a look here. I need to cheat and look at my Deadwood Jedi clan boss calculator off to the side. I think Helicath and Frozen Banshee have some delays that I need to put into effect. So Helicath is going to open with his A3 and then go to an A1, and then he can do his A2. Frozen Banshee needs to do 2 A1s, and then she can do her A3. So Helicath needs to do an A1 here. Now Helicath is good to auto, but Frozen Banshee needs 1 more A1 before she can auto. And then we should be good to just click auto and see where this goes. Alright, so now we are on auto. And we are full auto from here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch this run. And then we will take a look after. And I will take a look at the builds for the champions. And then I'll get you guys on your way. So I actually did forget to mention, you guys, that my Ultra Nightmare Clan boss is on Spirit Affinity tonight. So this is actually one of the affinities that this team is not going to work for because we don't have that block debuff or that cleansing champion. And so this is going to be the absolute worst case scenario for this team. Obviously, we're all going to die around turn 20. So again, this is the absolute worst team. We're going to take 20 turns here. We end up with 14.4 million damage. So if you take a look, if you do that into like, let's say like a calculator. Let's pull up the calculator here. We did 20 turns out of 50. That's 0.4. So 0.4 times 2.5 is 1. So we're going to take our 14.44 damage and multiply it by 2.5 to get kind of a rough estimate of if we were to last to turn 50, we're going to do around 36.1 million damage. That's going to be a little bit lower because Ninja and Frozen Banshee are hitting their weak affinity, so they maybe got a little bit of extra damage during this run. But you're looking at close to a 2 key if you get to turn 50 on Void Affinity. And so this team is going to be really close to a 2 key. If it doesn't hit a 2 key, you're going to easily get Ultra Nightmare top chest with a 3rd key, and that gives you some days 2 keys to do Nightmare and some days only 1 key to do Nightmare. But regardless, you're going to be getting some Nightmare chests as well, whether it's a top one or not, maybe. But you're going to get the Ultra Nightmare top chest, you're going to get the Nightmare almost top chest. So that is this team. If you were to do it on Void Affinity, it's going to be a lot better. This is the absolute worst case scenario. Let's jump into the gear. We've got Ninja here is running at 2900 attack, 205 speed, 100% crit rate, 228% crit damage, 311 accuracy. We've got Helicath here running at 4000 attack or defense. It's actually less than my friend's Helicath. 245 speed. He is 100% crit rate, 130% crit damage. We've got, who else do we run here? Farrakhan the Fat. He is running at 225 speed, 2200 attack, 99% crit rate, 128 crit damage, 293 accuracy. We are also running Frozen Banshee. She is in a retaliation set, running at 1968 attack, 177 defense or speed. I'm sorry. She is not critting, but she has 283 accuracy. And Aox here is he's our stun target, so we're looking at close to 40,000 health here, 1200 attack, 173 speed. He's not critting, and he has 233 accuracy. So that is that team. That's going to be close to a 2-key team on Void Affinity. And that's something that you can kind of grow into as your team is changing from something like my friend's team, which is all a 1-to-1 except for Helicath, start to like slowly change into this team where Ninja and Farrakhan are running at a 4-3 ratio along with Helicath, and the other two are at a 1-1 ratio. And then you can slowly morph that into maybe even something better down the road. And so that's kind of how your clan boss team can grow and change throughout your raid career. Hopefully this video has helped you guys. I always try to show you guys different stages of the game with different types of gear, whether it be awful gear that my friend has. It's the worst. His ninja wasn't even proccing his HP burns, to my gear, which isn't the best. It's by far not the best, but I like to think of it as maybe late mid-game or starting to get into the late game gear. Definitely not end game gear. So give you guys kind of a span of the spectrum of raid experience, and hopefully that can be helpful to you for your account so that you can start getting top chests on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay average, friends.